Hello, and thank you for accessing this PowerPoint presentation brought to you by Southgate Medallion Family Day Homes Agency. We would like you to be aware that the contents of this PowerPoint are for private use only and may not be recreated or shown in a public setting. This PowerPoint is a brief overview of FLIGHT, Alberta's Early Learning and Childcare Framework. FLIGHT, a brief history. FLIGHT is the early childhood curriculum for Alberta. It was first released in 2014 under its previous name, Play, Participation and Possibilities. It underwent an initial review and was re-released in 2018 under the new name FLIGHT. FLIGHT is the result of an exciting multi-year action research project engaging frontline early childhood educators in centre-based childcare and family day homes. FLIGHT was developed by a provincial-wide committee of advisors of over 75 people across Alberta. FLIGHT also draws inspiration from other curriculum frameworks across Canada, such as New Brunswick. FLIGHT has also been inspired by globally renowned curriculum frameworks such as Te Wahiki from New Zealand and Reggio Emilia from Italy. So why framework? The word framework is used when referring to an early childcare curriculum because it is different from a traditional educational curriculum that you will find in the school system. Within the FLIGHT framework, the focus is on early learning dispositions and holistic development goals, and is less focused on knowledge and school subject-based areas of learning. The FLIGHT framework emphasizes the importance of offering broad, rich, and experience-based learning to children. Within the FLIGHT curriculum framework, there are 5 core concepts. Number 1, the image of the child, a mighty learner and citizen. Number 2, a practice of relationships, your role as an early learning and childcare educator. Number 3, mighty learners, nurturing children's dispositions to learn. Number 4, responsive environments, time, space, materials and participation. And finally, number 5, transitions and continuities, supporting children and families through changes. Learning dispositions, a brief overview. Please see our separate PowerPoint presentation for a more in-depth look and review of learning dispositions. The FLIGHT curriculum has identified 5 learning dispositions. These learning dispositions are actions you can observe as children engage in play. Your aim as an educator is to observe, reflect on, and nurture these learning dispositions. These are the learning dispositions. We are playing and playful. We are seeking. We are participating. We are persisting. And finally, we are caring. Please note the wording, we. These learning dispositions not only just refer to the child, but they also refer to you as the educator. And that lends itself to the we part of the wording here. Please take a moment to have a look at these learning dispositions and reflect on how you are playing and playful, seeking, participating, persisting, and caring as you engage alongside the child, because it is important for you as an educator to model these learning dispositions to the child as they engage. Also contained within FLIGHT are the holistic play-based goals. Again, this is a very brief overview, but please see our separate PowerPoint presentation for a more in-depth review of holistic play-based goals. There are 4 holistic play-based goals: well-being, play and playfulness, communication and literacies, diversity and social responsibility. As with the learning dispositions, these are aspects of the child's play actions that you should be observing, reflecting on, and then planning for. A practice of relationships, your role. FLIGHT sets out Very clear roles for you as an educator. As an educator of early childhood aged children, you are a co-learner, you are a co-researcher, and you are a co-imaginer of possibilities. As a co-learner, you are invited to sit alongside the child as they engage in their play, role modelling those learning dispositions that we have just briefly covered. As a co-researcher, as you sit alongside the children, you should be observing their play actions, noticing and naming any of the learning dispositions or holistic play-based goals that you are seeing. And then finally, as a co-imaginer of possibilities, you should be taking that research that you have done whilst sitting alongside the child as a co-learner and co-researcher. And you should be reflecting on and then making future plans for those children based off of the learning dispositions and the holistic play-based goals that you have observed. I invite you to look further and reflect further on your role. Are you a co-learner? Are you a co-researcher? And are you a co-imaginer of possibilities? I hope you have been inspired to continue a more in-depth look at flight. It can easily be accessed online at flightframework.ca. Thank you for watching this PowerPoint presentation brought to you by Southgate Medallion Family Day Home Agency. The PowerPoint contents are the intellectual property of Southgate Medallion Family Day Home Agency and cannot be reproduced, replicated or used for public viewing. The contents are for personal viewing only. Thank you for watching.